This is your chance to take a stand against tyrants that support the one and only movement that can save our country and make America great again.
That was Donald Trump stating that this is your chance to take a stand against tyrants that support the MAGA movement. Okay, I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. You know, the thing about these videos of Donald Trump, they are in posts that he and his team are able to watch. They pre-record it, and then they post it on his social media platform. And so ostensibly there are people who are supposed to vet these things, yet he puts them out anyway. And so in addition to all of the unhinged things he says when he gives the speeches, these are videos that he puts out each and every day. So here's another one over the past 24 hours where he states that he believes that the other Republicans who are running against him in Iowa, like Nikki Haley and like Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie and others, that they are trying to cheat and that they are trying to rig Iowa against him. So Donald Trump's now accusing other Republicans of trying to cheat against him. Here, play this clip.
Our wonderful Trump caucus captains, thank you for all that you're doing. We really appreciate it. The most important thing you can do for our campaign is to lock in your 10 for Trump and turn them out for caucuses. Teach them how to caucus. Take them in your car on caucus night. If you have to do whatever is necessary, we got to get them in. We got to make America great again. So do whatever it takes. If you do, we will win and win big, and that's what you have to do. You know the other side does cheat, and we're not going to let that happen. We cannot let that happen. But that's what we need from you. Get in your car, get a lot of people, and get down and caucus.
I mean, doesn't this routine get old, folks? Isn't this unhinged Donald Trump MAGA fascism just kind of old and boring at this point? He does the same routine over and over again. Let's not forget that in the primaries back in 2016, remember he said that Ted Cruz was cheating and Ted Cruz was rigging the primaries and that it was all rigged against him. And that's just what he does. He just accuses everybody of cheating all the time. And frankly, it is just so pathetic, not even as like a political opinion, like it's just at a human level. This behavior is pathetic. It is embarrassing. It is weak. It is cowardly. It is pathetic. Here, Donald Trump, again, consistent with this cowardly and pathetic behavior. Again, this was over the past 24 hours as well. Here he attacks the New York Post, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch, one of the main purveyors of Hunter Biden everything, one of the biggest supporters of Trump, the New York Post, a Murdoch property. Here, Donald Trump says the New York Post is a radical left publication that went bad on Trump because they don't just post all these things that are, we love him every day. Because they're not like that, he now says the New York Post is a woke, leftist, radical entity that's gone bad on Trump. I mean, this guy is just so pathetic. Here, play this clip.
Since the New York Post went bad on Trump, and they have gone bad, their numbers have fallen tremendously. People aren't buying it. They don't want to read that. The New York Post has treated me great for almost a lifetime. And now, for whatever reason, and I guess it's radical left or the rhino stuff, they have gone really bad. And it's ridiculous, but the numbers are down. Their numbers of readers and everything else has gone down tremendously. Great people are tired of hearing fake news. The New York Post used to be so good, but not anymore. We have to get it back before it's too late. Because frankly, if they don't change, there will be no more New York Post, and that would be sad.
And again, these are video clips that he pre-records and posts. This is the message that he wants out there, attacking the New York Post and claiming that the other Republicans are cheating and, again, posting something, which, by the way, I agree with. If you want to stop tyrants, vote out MAGA, but here he's posting that, and not vetting his own posts with his own messaging. It's like this one that he posted. This one that I'm about to show you wasn't in the past 24 to 48 hours, but this is when he made a post. He did this on his own. This isn't AI. This is something that he decided to post on his social media platform, saying twice in just a couple of seconds that Republicans eat their young. They eat their young. They really do. It's a horrible thing they do. They eat their young. What do they eat their children? What is he even talking about? Here, play this clip.
But remember, Republicans eat their young. They really do. They eat their young. Terrible statement, but it's true.
I suppose he may be trying to say they eat their own, but again, nothing is done with care, with tact. It's all unhinged. The New York Post is a radical leftist, this and that. The Republican candidates are cheating against me in Iowa. And I'm reminded by that famous expression, which is, first they came for this group and I didn't do anything because I wasn't associated with this group. Then they came for this group and I didn't do anything because I wasn't associated with this group. And then they came for me. And there was nobody else left to protect me when they came for me. Folks, that is what this MAGA movement is. The MAGA Republicans believe that if you are not 100% obedient to this kind of MAGA mutation that has taken over the Republican Party, you are a rhino. They call Bill Barr, Donald Trump's former attorney general who covered for Trump, they call him a rhino, and he calls him a fat slob and all of these things. The MAGA Republicans call Ken Buck of the Freedom Caucus a Democrat because Ken Buck accurately says Donald Trump lost the 2020 election.
For me, and I know many families out there, it's more important than ever to make sure that you're saving money and cutting back on your expenses. For example, I used to spend over $100 a month on streaming services. Netflix, Disney+, Prime, you name it. But since I started using ExpressVPN, I've been able to cut back and save so much every month. Let me explain. See, all these streaming services like Netflix actually have thousands of more shows than you think. You just don't see them all because they give you different shows depending on your country. So what you see on Netflix here is completely different to what someone in Italy or South Korea sees. But using the ExpressVPN app, I can change my online location. ExpressVPN has over 90 countries to choose from. So every time I run out of stuff to watch, I just switch over to another country to unlock new shows. Right now, I'm watching Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. It's not on Netflix here, but with ExpressVPN, I just tap one button to change my country to Italy, refresh the page, and it shows up. I don't need to pay extra for Apple TV or Prime just to watch it. And on top of that, I can even use ExpressVPN to get discounts. Some services cost less in other countries. For example, if you buy Netflix from Argentina, it costs a fraction of the price. At less than $7 a month, ExpressVPN pays for itself and so much more. It's a no-brainer. So if you want to get way more shows and save money while you're at it, go to expressvpn.com/MeidasTouch. Don't forget to use my link in the description below and you could get 3 extra months free. That's expressvpn.com/MeidasTouch. expressvpn.com/MeidasTouch to learn more. Thank you.
Here's a post from Marjorie Taylor Greene where she goes, "When is Ken Buck going to announce he's a Democrat? The amount of shilling for Joe Biden is astounding. Almost like he's hoping Joe is going to appoint him or something. Ken Buck is a member of the Freedom Caucus, what was once the far right wing of the Republican Party, which now Ken Buck is like, wait a minute, I believe that the election results were fair and that the 70 or so court decisions confirm that. I'm not spreading election disinformation, and I still have all of these other very extreme right-wing views, but we need free and fair elections and we need a democracy. Out you go, Ken Buck, says the MAGA Republicans. You don't love Donald Trump? Out you go, Ken Buck. So Ken Buck left, by the way. Here's the video of Ken Buck where he's like, all right, I'm leaving this. I'm leaving. I'm resigning. Well, after this term, I'm not going to be running again for office because I'm upset at what this Republican Party has become. Here, play this clip of Ken Buck.
How do you unite behind decisions, complicated decisions with such a thin margin? What about your own role?
Yeah, well, I have decided, Andrea, I'm not going to seek re-election. And
you too?
Yeah, I am joining Kay and probably some others in the near future. But I've decided that it is time for me to do some other things. I'm always have been disappointed with our inability in Congress to deal with major issues, and I'm also disappointed that the Republican Party continues to, rely on this lie that the 2020 election was stolen, and rely on the January 6th narrative and the political prisoners from January 6th and other things. If we're going to solve difficult problems, we've got to deal with some very unpleasant truths or lies and make sure that we project to the public what the truth is.
Well, let me pick.
And then in addition to all of those posts of Donald Trump, and those are video posts that he makes, again, this is all just a boring routine. It's like he has fascist AI just write these things for him. Although this was a new one that he posted, this last line, where he told the judge in New York, leave my children alone, Engoron. You are a disgrace to the legal profession. That's Donald Trump attacking Judge Arthur Engoron, the judge presiding over the New York Attorney General civil fraud case. The New York Attorney General subpoenaed, and because they are defendants, they have to show up. And they are not just witnesses, they are defendants, Don Jr. and Eric. Ivanka is not a defendant, but she is a witness who has to testify. And Donald Trump goes, leave my children alone. These aren't like 5-year-olds. I know they may behave like petulant fascist 5-year-olds, but these are adults. These aren't little kids. These are adults who were leading an organization that has already been found by the judge to have engaged in fraudulent conduct based on the undisputed evidence, based on their own words, their own documentation, your own words, the Trump Organization documentation. Leave my children alone, Donald Trump goes, as if he's referring to like toddlers. But they are. The MAGA Republicans have turned a major American political party. They've removed any semblance of actual conservative ideology to act like little petulant babies. No offense to babies. It's like this behavior is so unbecoming of our country. I mean, and that's kind of fundamentally where I'm at with this, which is remove the politics for a second, which I think that it is very important that we focus on political issues and its importance. But just if you remove it for a second and you just look at this behavior by the modern day Republican Party, which is MAGA and Trump, is like, it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing and disgraceful and pathetic. Judge for yourself. Put in the comments below how you feel. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers. And if you want to also help support the growth of the independent journalism we do here, go to patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch, and have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.